don't know what happened there.
Max
All right,
Q.
So at this point, we've
There we
passed
go.
through that period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. The next thing we're looking forward to is going to be hot staging. So we've got 33 out of 33 Raptors lit. Super Heavy makes its way uphill. Hot staging is going to be coming up in just a little over a minute. At that point,
Landing burn shutdown.
And there we heard it. Booster landing burn shutdown. We saw a 13 to 5 to 3 V3 demonstration. And into the water we go. Wow, that was absolutely awesome. If you can even hear us right now, congrats to the whole SpaceX team. So far, so good for today. That was incredible.
all right, great stuff, guys. I'm jealous of the crowd. All right, back to ship. Ship's still making its way. We've got a little under 2 minutes left in this ascent burn. So we've got all 6 Raptor engines still firing. So the next major milestone we're going to be looking for is SECO. That's our second stage engine cutoff. That's should be coming right at about 8 minutes and 58 seconds into flight. So we've got about 1:20 still to go. Really cool to see Booster go through that that landing burn. That was one of our really key demonstrations we wanted to try and do today. Is that's mimicking what we're going to be hopefully doing. Oh, we just got our sonic boom, sounds like, from the booster coming back.
Wow.
All right, less than a minute to go. So we are going to see the 3 RVACs, the vacuum optimized engines, shut down first, and then we'll shut down those 3 center engines. So we should be a little under a minute until SECO. Just a reminder, this is putting us into a suborbital trajectory, so we're intentionally just going slow enough that we're not going to achieve full orbit. This puts us on a course where those engines shut off, and no matter what, we're coming back.
Starship is on terminal guidance.
In the Indian Ocean. All right, terminal guidance. So we should start seeing the shutdowns come up in just a couple seconds. Less than 30 seconds to go in this ship ascent burn.
Nice shot.
All right, RVACs have shut off.
Boom.
3 more to go.
What?
Ship engine cutoff.
All right, all ship Raptors have shut
Nominal
down.
orbit insertion.
You just heard nominal orbital insertion. So we are on the path that we wanted to be. So we've got a ship back in space, a whole lot planned for it, lots more still to come. Great seeing Super Heavy make its way to the water.
Down the
But I'm excited to
river.
see what ship can do in space. How's
The
everybody
damn
doing down there?
pit bulls chasing after him. Uh-oh.
Yeah, if you could hear the crowd
Here comes
behind
the
us this
pit
whole
bull.
time, people are definitely happy with how the day's been panning out so far.
Trying to load
Definitely
it.
exciting to see Starship safely in
Bam!
space, and super pumped to see all the team's hard work in action here today.
Yeah, and we
Just it was
guaranteed it at the start
lunging.
of the show, but it has been an awesome day so far. It's crazy. All this has happened in just
Oh.
10 minutes. All the objectives were met on the booster, including that
tore up in
V3
the
style
back.
landing burn. So now all eyes are on the ship as we get ready for our in-space objectives. But we've got a few minutes until that next milestone, so sit tight, enjoy the views, enjoy the space jams. We'll be back at T plus 16 minutes for payload deploy.
6 minutes. Knucklehead News. Looking at 1:04. October the 16th. Thursday. Uh-oh. Well, here's... Oh my God, Steve does it. Steve is doing it. We'll begin shortly. The killer's at the gas station now. I forget what he's talking about. I think he's still killing. I think this guy gets killed.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. I guess it's in the U.S. Good evening. It is Steve Whitmer with Agenda Free TV. We are here to bring you live coverage. So I gotta adjust my camera a little bit here. We are here to bring you live coverage of the SpaceX Starship Flight Test 11, which, did they just update the time? Supposedly it's a go for tonight. According to their website, T-minus 58 minutes and 37 seconds. I should put up our clock for this. That's what I'm going to do. So it's in. So I'll stay off the view while the next one goes out.
What's this?
It's kind of hard to see. Not the easiest to see. That's it, right?
All right, now with payload deploy complete, Starship will now close its payload door and continue to coast around Earth to the Indian Ocean. We still have a ton of major events to come today, including Raptor relight at about T plus 37 minutes. That will be followed by atmospheric reentry and splashdown.
Oh, there it's doing its,
So
doing
with that,
its
we're going down
thing.
another quick coast.
Yeah, if you can hear us.
USA.
Payload door closed, right?
All right, with that payload door closed, we're gonna sit tight, enjoy the views, and enjoy the space jams
All
again. We'll be back in just a few minutes for Raptor relight, and then head back for reentry.
All right, I have to turn.
We have liftoff. Go Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic
What the
flights.
hell?
We have liftoff. It's like a movie.
Here we go again.
Crazy.
Vehicles get you downrange.
There's where we
Booster
left
Raptor
off.
pressure nominal.
We're using Starlink to bring all of this together. It's
There
our
it
drone
is.
shots you see
Did it
here
actually go out there?
from
I can't see.
our
Did it
great
get
team
out?
down here at Starbase, all connected. So Starlink not only giving us cool views off the planet, but also on
Minutes until Starship splashes down.
What?
The Starship, the Starship launch vehicle, both stages are intended to be fully reusable, but today they are not. I don't think they've ever caught the Starship back at the launch pad. They have caught the booster before, but they're not doing that with either stage today. They're not trying to. So this Starship is going to be landing in the Indian Ocean. All right. Now, little stuff going on with the video. I'm not aware that anything is wrong, though. And I assume they're still playing the music. Let me double check on this, because they said they'd be back in about 6 minutes. But we're about to see payload deploy demo. Pulling it up here to make sure. Yes, they are playing music. They are playing music on the live shot, on the live stream. When is the next test flight? That is a good question. I got to see if I can quickly find that out. According to Wikipedia, the next test flight is going to be in 2026. That's according to the Wikipedia, common Wikipedia article. Then maybe they'll end up changing. But when I look at the Wikipedia article with the list of all the test flights, it says after this, the next one is 2026. All right. We're waiting to get the audio back any moment now. Oh, they're back. Hold on. Let me get the audio back up for you guys. Hold on. Hang on a moment here. Give it one more second. Give it one more second. Hold on. Hang on. Audio coming back in a second. Hold on.
All right, well.
We got the audio back. Here we go.
But we are getting ready for payload deploy. That's going to start once we get the payload door open. That should be happening, or at least starting within the next minute or so. It's been a really cool flight so far. Quick look inside the payload. We've got 8 Starlink simulators getting ready to make their way into outer space. But great flight so far. Booster able to make it all the way to its splashdown and landing burn experiment. So that was really exciting to see. We got ship on orbit, nominal orbital insertion, so right on the money with its trajectory. Now we're ready to start tackling a couple of in-space objectives. So next up, we are currently venting down the nose cone, essentially the payload area of Starship, as we get ready to open up this payload door. We were able to do this successfully for the very first time on our last flight, on flight 10. Ooh. Hal got ahead of me. Looks like he's opening up the payload door already.
Payload door is opening.
Look at that.
There's
light inside.
They're gonna deploy those dummy satellites out the payload door. There they are, right there.
All right, looks like we got the door open.
The first time they did this was last time. Now this takes about 7 minutes, I think. I think there's 8 of them.
All right, so payload door is open. Next up, going to be to start deploying these Starlink simulators.
Yeah, they're dummies. These are not
They are
actual...
roughly the same size as the V3 Starlink satellites that Starship's going to be carrying. That's going to add some pretty crazy capacity. We'll run through the numbers in a little bit. We were able to do this for the very first time ever on our last flight, and so this will be another test. We made a couple of tweaks to the rails for deploying this based on what we saw last time.
Burning.
But excited to see these get out the door.
Nowhere.
Our next iteration of Starship's also going to have kind of a more powerful PEZ.
Tommy Lee Jones.
It's going to deploy these at a little bit faster speed, but looking to see our next demonstration of this hopefully in the next couple of seconds. We should start seeing them move out the door.
Next iteration of the Starship, more powerful PEZ, he said.
I mean, that view on your left, so you're basically, that would be if you were sitting at the very top of the nose cone looking down. So there's kind of a short stack. There's 4 on either side. so 8 total. When we start flying Starlinks for their actual deploy missions, we're going to be carrying stacks of about 60. So
Wow.
much larger stack once we start flying these operationally, but still doing a little bit of a short just for this payload deploy today.
Here they come.
Are they moving? What's happening?
Yeah, they moved.
Looks like we got a little bit of movement there, Dan.
A little bit of movement?
Coax it out.
Yes,
Get
here
it
we go.
moving,
Look,
Jay.
watch. Look,
There
see
we
them
go.
moving?
All right, first
Look.
one going out.
Out the door.
All right, first one's deployed. Getting ready for the second one here. We do a little reset back to the center position.
Has dispenser.
Yeah, it
There we
takes
go.
about a minute for each one.
Look at it, goes right out there. Right out into space. These
Looks
were blown up in
real smooth
re-entry.
too. They made a couple of tweaks to those rails. If you watched the last ones, it had a couple of bumps on the way out, but moving out super clean this time.
They're going to burn
Yeah,
up
and
in
as
re-entry.
noted earlier in the show, but definitely worth repeating, Starship will deploy Starlink's more advanced V3 satellites, adding 60 terabits per second of capacity to the network per launch. So that's 20 times more than each Falcon 9 launch does today. Just incredible.
Oh,
It's gonna
no,
very
a
much
bunch of
help.
dead people again.
Starlink internet.
What? Well, that's a dead
Yeah,
dog.
and anybody that's been
This is
following
the original
Starship, you know,
scene.
Starlink's kind of the
Can't believe the
MVP for
bodies
these
are
flight tests,
still
where
out there.
it's not only giving us the views we're seeing right now,
Really
but
incredible.
also just real-time data through every phase of flight. So we've got a couple dozen cameras on Starship. We've also got a bunch of cameras spread across the
Here's
globe,
another one. There it
including out
goes.
in the
Bye.
Indian Ocean,
Go
where we've
into
got
space.
our fun buoys floating.
Go
There
into
goes another one.
space.
Bye-bye.
And I mean, we're using Starlink to bring all of this together. It's our drone shots you see
Did it
here
actually go out there?
from
I can't see.
our
Did it
great
get
team
out?
down here at Starbase, all connected. So Starlink
didn't
not
make
only
it.
giving us cool views off the planet, but also on the planet to help bring everybody along for all these Starship flights.
There's another one. Next one. There it is, right there.
I think that's number 4. Somebody check my math.
I feel like it's like a pizza oven. Like, that to me, it seems more like a pizza oven than a Pez dispenser.
Okay, we've got
Maybe I'm
4
wrong.
Starlink terminals on the outside of Starship. He uses that to talk to the constellation, and through that, we actually get about 120 megabits of bandwidth for our downlink. That's our real-time HD video, all of our telemetry. So it's not just kind of giving us these cool views inside, but it's giving all that engineering data in real time, including re-entry when normally a plasma layer builds up and blocks you out. Starlink, powerful enough of a frequency that we're able to kind of punch through that and still get that live view.
Some of the viewers say they look like TV dinners being ejected. 4 more, I think. There goes another one. There it goes.
All right,
There it
next one
goes.
out the door.
What is that? What is
There we
that?
go.
I don't know what that shot is. Is that the ship, I guess?
Open door.
All right, yeah, Starlink is the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet access to people around the world, many of who have never had connectivity before.
Wow. Elon Musk.
Right.
Our
Today,
viewers are saying
Starlink
that-
serves
that-
more
our
than
viewers are saying
150
that's looking at the exit
countries,
door.
territories, and other markets, with over
Kinda
7
hard to see
million
in that
active
shot.
customers and counting. To meet the global growing demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX expanded its factory over in Bastrop, Texas, which is just outside of Austin, and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded version of the
copy
Starlink
of
Standard
that.
kit.
Yeah, and one thing to note about this satellite deploy is that they will be following the same suborbital trajectory of the ship. So these dummy sats will not be going in orbit. We do expect them to burn up on re-entry.
And land on your house.
A couple more to go. I promise one of these days we'll deploy in daylight. But we're basically trading deploy in the dark so we get those re-entry views for the daytime.
Yeah, he's talking about how it's dark, so it makes it harder to see. Oh,
There you
I
go.
see what you're saying. You can kind of see it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I didn't realize that, sorry. I was kind of in the way. I'm kind of in the way when I'm here. Behind me, you can I think you can see it go out behind me when I'm not there. So sorry.
All right, I
about
think we got one more to go.
that. So I'll stay off the view while the next one goes out. It's kind of hard to see. Not the easiest to see. That's it, right?
All right, now with payload deploy complete, Starship will now close its payload door and continue to coast around Earth to the Indian Ocean. We still have a ton of major events to come today, including Raptor relight at about T plus 37 minutes. That will be followed by atmospheric reentry and splashdown. So with that, we're going to go on another quick coast.
Yeah, if you can hear us.
A lot of happy people there. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow, ow. Oh. Man. Yep, that's it.
Payload door closed, right?
Closed her up.
All right, with that payload door closed, we're gonna sit tight, enjoy the views, and enjoy the space jams. Again, we'll be back in just a few minutes for Raptor relight, and then head back for reentry.
All right, I have to turn off the sound during the space jams. I can't play the copyrighted space jams. So, so everything has gone very well so far for them. Everything's gone very well, pretty much. The only hiccup I'm aware of is, I don't think it's really a big deal, but one of the booster engines did not relight up for boost back burn. But
What?
the booster came down the way they wanted to in the Gulf, and then you saw the payload deploy of the dummy satellites went great. Nothing. The Starship is where it needs to be, which it did not get this far on several of the earlier test flights. And so what's coming up is in about 10 minutes, they will do the in-space relight demo, where they relight an engine in space. And then after that, it's we start to go to entry, where it comes back to Earth. So we'll be watching that, and then the landing burn and the
share us with the
splashdown.
trailer.
The whole flight takes about 1 hour and 6 minutes. So we'll take some of your comments right now as we watch this. But yeah, this has been a good flight for them. Thanks to Jason Perez. I'll say that. Thanks for your support. Our viewer Fish Like It Is sent me a video from Florida. It sounds like Fish Like It Is shot a video.
Because you guys know what I'm doing.
No, I don't think I'm going to watch the other launch.
Can you unlock the car?
Our viewer Fish Like It Is from Twitch, do you guys want to see Fish Like It Is' video? This is Fish Like It Is' video that they shot in Florida of Starship flying by. Our viewer just sent this to me. Fish Like It Is on Twitch. So let's take a quick look at this, real quick, from our viewer.
What's that?
There you go. That's our Twitch viewer, Fish Like It Is, shot that video of Starship going by tonight.
Launch.
Very nice.
Shout out to Agenda Free TV.
Hey, thanks, Fish Like It Is.
That was good. Pretty good.
Bonus content from our viewer, Fish Like It Is in Florida. That's pretty neat. And we got a shout out too. When I lived in Florida for a year, I used to be able to see the launches. I was farther away than this, though. I was in Orlando, and they would launch from the coast. But it was still cool. But this is better than I got to see. Hey, that was awesome. Thanks again to our viewer, Fish Like It Is. That was really cool.
Oh, he puts it up in the
Nice, fun.
up in the ventilation.
Now we're back at the live shot. In about 5 minutes or 5-6 minutes, they'll have the audio back. And we will go back to the live broadcast from SpaceX. Again, this Starship is being developed. This is really the new space vehicle that SpaceX wants to use. They're going to use it to bring commercial payloads to space. They are working with NASA. NASA has contracted with them to do a version of it that's supposedly going to bring people to the Earth, astronauts to the moon. Astronauts to the moon in 2027. That's the plan. Elon Musk wants to use this to bring people and cargo to Mars. But it's still in the test flight phase. But last test flight went great, and this one is going great right now. Oh, I can see it again. Hold on, we can see it again. Let me just make sure they're not talking again. Hold on a second here.
What's it coming in the daylight?
It's still music. It's still music.
It's coming in the daylight, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to end up if it's going to end up going to the moon in 2027. I think it is. I believe it's for the Artemis program, right? The Artemis program.
Get the head in.
Really appreciate that, Sydney. Thank you. Now is more of a steady glow, one of the viewers said. Yes. All right. Oopsie. Hold on. So we're supposed to get them back in about 3 minutes or something.
We're down to 113
minutes. The announcers will be back. Maybe they'll tell us what we're seeing.
Traveling over 26,000 miles an hour. Kilometers an hour, which is what? 13.
The Randy Bobandy says it's fine.
13.
The altitude, yes, as one of our viewers said, is 110 kilometers, which is about 60 miles. Dropping slowly, says B. Earhart.
Under 9.
Oh, Cheryl Lamona said that our viewer, Cheryl Lamona Ingram said, I was watching NSF and they said the flashes are plasma.
Plasma? The hell's plasma?
Chaz says, sorry. I was going to read what Chaz says, and it flew by. Chaz says it's right on the line between atmosphere and space. Due to how fast it's going, it will generate plasma. That's what our viewer Chaz says. waiting to hear from the announcers. They have not started talking yet. I can tell you that they have not started talking yet. Very soon, we're about to see the last stage of this test flight. Got about 20 minutes more, and we're going to see the entry. How about that?
Yeah, that's what I've been waiting
They're still
for.
playing the Space Jams. But this has gone well. This has gone well. You can see that altitude dropping. Hate Luzin says it's getting hot coming in. It's got about 20 minutes left in the flight.
Tommy Lee's at the restaurant eating breakfast.
Matthew
Yeah,
Birdsey
2
says, I think
slices
they'll
of
nail it.
tomato
Hey, thank
and
you,
eggs
Matt
on toast.
Barngrover, who says, why the moon? Why not Texas to Japan in 43 minutes? That's from Matt. Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate that. Waiting for the announcers to come back.
He
They're
lost
still
his
not
appetite.
back yet. I can't play it until the Space Jams are over and they're having the announcers again. Oh, they're talking now? Hold on. I'm waiting.
He's buying a gun
Hold on.
now.
Oh, they're back. Hold on. They're back, I think. Hold on. Sorry.
Now we're using aero braking essentially to scrub off all that energy. And of course, Starlink is a big part of this, giving us the views we have right now, and also letting us gather as much data as possible, which again is really the main reason why we do these flights. And the view we have right now is actually a really good example. As we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, we have some tiles on the leeward side of the flaps here, and we have some different mechanisms, some stud out, basically to see if these tiles will hang on. And, we can see already here, it looks like we kept most of them, but I think I see a couple there that are no longer there. So the thermal team is definitely going to be digging into that and taking that data to help us iterate on V3. So yeah, Starlink provides us with one more path to collect data and help us rapidly iterate Starship's design.
And if the ship does manage to make it all the way to re-entry, we'll collect valuable data on the spacecraft flying through the Earth's atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, or more than 5 times the speed of sound. Re-entry is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communications with spacecraft because it's re-entering at or around orbital velocity, which is roughly 8 kilometers per second or 5 miles per second. At those insanely high speeds, the spacecraft moving through the atmosphere creates a plasma field around the vehicle.
Yeah, and that blanket of plasma distorts communication frequencies, so it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication. All right, so big picture here, Starship is designed to land on Mars where there are no runways or other humans to help out. So that means we need to do a propulsive landing instead of a more traditional means like parachutes, which is what our Dragon spacecraft uses, or a runway like the Space Shuttle. Propulsive landing enables more rapid reusability.
Now, as the ship makes its way back to Earth, we should start hearing some call-outs. When we hear entry max heating and entry max Q, that means the ship has made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic loads it will experience as it returns. So if it makes it through all of those, that's a pretty good sign that we're doing well.
Yeah, and we heard flaps have control of the vehicle now. Okay, there's a great shot there. You're starting to see the plasma build up.
Wow.
So we will hear a call out when the ship is transonic and then subsonic. Transonic refers to the period of flight where the velocities of airflows surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. All right, a lot of numbers coming up here, but for reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most fly around Mach 0.74 to Mach 0.85, which is 480 to 575 miles per hour, or 770 to 930 kilometers per hour. Right now, we're going a little over 26,000 kilometers per hour. So compare that to the airplane at 930, it's like pretty crazy how fast we're going here. All right, and after we hear the call out that Starship is transonic, we should hear the call out that Starship is subsonic. Subsonic, of course, refers to the speed that is much less than the speed of sound. So at that point, the ship's velocity will be starting to slow down, and we'll be looking a little bit more like some of our suborbital flights from, at this point, almost 5 years ago.
Yeah, so re-entry so far is looking pretty good. You can see that plasma field. Also, again, with those missing tile experiments, especially, we're putting the ship through a lot today, but things are looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, we're looking good. I do want to remind people that we are pushing ship to the limits. We've done a lot of these missing tile tests. We did it back in Flight 10. Every time we do it, we throw something new and the ship makes it through. This time, we're really pushing it. We've removed these tiles in some of the spots that see the highest level of heating. And we remove tiles that have zero backup protection underneath. So there's essentially just bare steel.
He's got a Mac 10.
It's one of the heat of re-entry.
He's moved up in the world.
And so do not be surprised if this is not a very smooth flight on the way down. But again, this is intentional. We are trying to find what are the limits for a ship. How resilient are we to these different issues that could pop up? If we lose a tile anywhere on the vehicle, we want to know what that ultimate impact is going to be. So we've got a couple missing. We had a bunch pulled over the primary fuel, the LOX tanks, everything. This one, we've got a tile missing right on top.
He's getting close.
So that's going to see some of the highest temperatures during this re-entry. And there's just bare steel right underneath it. So we're going to see if Starship's robust enough to pull through that. Also have some tiles missing around the aft flaps, specifically on the leading edge. So again, we're getting a really good look right at the leading edge. That's getting really intense heating. So again, gonna see if it can make it through. See if all the flaps hold on. See if Starship holds together. But definitely could be a bumpy ride. But this is why we're flying. This is why we're flying in this part of the world. This is why we're putting Starship through these flight tests to really understand what its limits are. So we can then move on to the next thing. Just going to be bringing ships back to the launch site for a catch. But for now, still in the suborbital. The light show continuing.
Hangars now.
Keep following it. I think we got about 15 minutes until splashdown.
I didn't see 138.
Yeah, Dan, it looks, you can see our speed indicator in the bottom left there. It looks like we're starting to scrub off velocity a little bit quicker.
Ship is entering the peak heating phase of flight.
Looks like we can see some clouds down there as we pass through 70.
Well, it's coming down.
We entered with a little bit missing. That was ultimately traced to a little bit of buildup. We dumped prop on the way. We had a little bit of solid propellant buildup, and then either static discharge or the plasma ignited it, took out a tiny bit of that skirt, some of the aft flaps, but Starship again was able to fight through it, make it all the way to that landing burn. We addressed that, changed some of our prop dump con-ups though, so should not be seeing that this time around. And as a reminder, we're in addition to these missing tile tests, we're doing kind of a unique flight on the way in. It's going to do what we call a banking maneuver. So while we're still going supersonic and even hypersonic, we're doing kind of a banking turn, and then we'll do a pretty aggressive turn right as we get into the subsonic and start doing our belly flop. And that's designed to essentially be the approach that we would do on a return to launch site and the tower catch. So don't be surprised if we see the ship start to turn and make a few maneuvers as it makes its way down to the Indian. And fun fact, even though we're doing all this turning, we're essentially targeting the exact same spot in the Indian Ocean we went to last time.
Look at that view.
Plasma. Damn plasma.
Wow.
Uh-oh. There he goes. Bam.
All right, just about 12
Boom.
minutes to go.
Boom.
Still looking good.
That was just some dude.
That gives a pretty good view of those aft flaps where, again, on the leading edge, I think it might be on the one on the other side, we had some tiles removed with no backups behind it. So, again, we're really trying to stress some of the most sensitive areas around Starship, where basically if you lose a tile, it's the worst possible spot. And if we're able to make it through this, then that tells us quite a bit about just how resilient this vehicle is.
Hate Losing says it's holding up good.
Yeah, and that shot we just had earlier was looking at what we call the business end of Starship with all the Raptor engines. And those are the engines that we're going to be expecting to light for that flip and landing burn, hopefully in about 10 minutes once we get through reentry. Yeah, there we go.
Thanks to Thomas Javins and
yeah, looking at E3, that's the one. It's the one we did the relight on. So it's 2 for 2 so far. We'll see if it can go 3 for 3.
Oh, that's a fake picture.
Thanks
they're
again,
only
Thomas
62
Javins,
kilometers
Charlie,
up, and
Jen
it looks
Junkie
like
on
they're
Twitch, CC on Twitch.
1,000 miles
Thank
up. Pretending
Appreciate
to show
everybody
the
joining us.
curvature
We're
of the
about
Earth.
to see the end of the flight. Starship
Bastards.
spacecraft heading back to Earth.
All right, we can see
So
that
far, so
speed
good.
just continue to bleed off under 20,000 kilometers an hour. Ship still holding together.
Yeah, and if you look in the bottom right, looks like we've made it all the way to the Indian Ocean. We're coming up kind of near Australia, the west side of Australia there. So pretty crazy. We're only 56 minutes in, and we've made it all the way, halfway around the world.
Cryokeen says this is amazing. Cher Martin says it's holding up good.
It's actually a good demonstration of a future capability we hope to have on Starship, where we will do point-to-point transport on Earth.
Driving.
So essentially travel anywhere in the world in about an hour or so, which is going to be pretty crazy. Imagine going from New York to Sydney in 1 hour instead of the 20 hours it takes currently.
One of our viewers was just talking about that. Morgiana says technology has gone far. Pixie says I took a 20-hour flight to
And
Australia.
a reminder, so this camera is, we see some of the heat rate picking up a little bit.
Guys,
And this camera is embedded right in the end of one of those forward flaps, so you see it moving around. That's the flap adjusting to maintain control. Looks like we're getting into our bank maneuver. Now power sliding through the atmosphere.
External temperatures are coming down.
good.
"50 kilometers up,
Gamer
and
Lover
it's
says
showing
hang
the
in there.
curvature of the Earth." What a joke.
Vehicle is now at maximum dynamic pressure.
Maximum dynamic pressure. What a shot. Wow.
What's that mean to me?
History
All
under
right, that was basically our reverse max Qs, so most aerodynamic stress that it's going to see during reentry, we just passed through it, so we're past that, we're past peak heating. Ship still holding together. So we're currently in this bank maneuver. We're going to see it kind of roll over and do a pretty pretty significant shift as we get down closer to the subsonic speeds.
Yeah, and that bank maneuver that Dan's mentioning is all in part of us to learn about the guidance, navigation, and control for return to launch site missions. So in the near future, we're hoping to return the ship back to the same pad we just took off on 59 minutes ago. And we've got to do some of these pretty dynamic bankings to make that trajectory work out.
All right, the light show kind of calming down as we're starting to move into the lower parts of the atmosphere. We should hit transonic, so hitting that transition between moving faster than the speed of sound and below the speed of sound in just about 3.5 minutes. Our landing burn should happen right around an hour and 6 minutes after launch, so we should be just about 6 minutes away from that. You can see lots of daylight. Everybody cross your fingers, see if our range team is able to get out there and provide any surprise views as Starship makes its way down. Oh, it's like they heard me.
Wow.
Ready and waiting. Let's go.
That's the landing
Dan,
spot.
you just spoke that view into existence there.
So
And again, all brought to us by Starlink.
Maneuver has started.
All right, guys. In the last
All
few
right,
minutes.
there we go. So we're now starting into our really heavy bank maneuver. And this does almost like a half circle loop to our actual trajectory.
Wow, look at that
We're heading
two-shot
to the
coming up
same
right now.
exact splashdown point, but
Wow.
we're kind of doing a more roundabout way to get there, where it's this kind of big, long half moon loop and then a really aggressive and a twist right at the very end. And that would line us up with the launch tower. Starship, on a return to launch site, would fly over the tower, do a quick landing burn flip, and then come down for catching the arms.
How about that S38 decal there staying strong on that view we just had?
Good to see the numbers back on.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, should be hitting transonic in about 2.5 minutes. Landing flip coming up in about 4. Pretty clouds there in the Indian Ocean today. Again, yeah, we changed our launch times. We launch in the evening now, so we get these daytime views down in the Indian Ocean. One of the things we're really looking for, the reason we have the drone, other than, yeah, that looks really cool, is we're able to kind of see the ship. We can only see so much from these cameras. You can't see like the vast majority of the heat shield. So we throw these buoys out there. We've got there's
Spoken again, Dan. There it is.
Wow.
they're playing with me in the control room. All right. But we have these buoys out there. We have these drones that we're trying to see externally how the heat shield held up. Everybody saw from Flight 10 it had
Crazy.
a little bit of a paint job, a little bit of a reddish hue. That was from those metallic tiles that we had tested, kind of oxidizing really rapidly in that plasma and then spreading those little oxide particles all over the heat shield. No metal tiles on this flight, so not expecting to see that.
Dynamic pressure is coming down.
Great test flight so far for them. I mean, even now, even
Hope
if somebody
nobody
got
gets
now, still a
seasick.
great test flight for them.
All right, coming up on transonic shortly. It's about 2.5 minutes of landing burn.
2.5 minutes till land.
Yeah, and once we get to around the 15-kilometer altitude mark, that's where we have a lot of flight history.
Starship
from
is
those solo
transonic,
flights.
starting the belly flop phase of flight.
belly flop.
It's belly flopping.
That we perfected in the suborbital campaigns. We're entering that
hey.
now.
Wow.
We need that thruster camera.
Right, starting to get those Raptors ready. Should be 2 minutes away from landing burn. Again, we're going to do a flip. After we ignite those engines, we'll go from 3 down to 2 for the final phase of the landing burn and look for another soft splashdown, hopefully by our buoy and drone, which are hanging out, ready and waiting for a ship.
You found the beeper. That beeper was hitting the stack up.
Seeing all 3
Turned out
center
to be
engines
a
have entered
big
the
stack of
chill
hundreds.
phase.
There was ones inside of it, and it was cut out with the beeper in it. That was pretty slick. This is gonna call it this.
We're
All
just
right,
about
less than a
there,
minute to
guys.
go.
Very close. Here we go.
The ship is making its turn for final approach.
There you go.
And here's this kind of aggressive final turn that would essentially position it so it's right behind the launch and catch tower. Flaps holding strong.
Here we go.
Landing burn in just under 20 seconds.
Under 2 kilometers, 117, 16, 14, 13, 12.
There's that buoy cam.
He's under.
Start up.
There's our
There it
landing
is.
burn.
Wow.
3 down to 2.
Starship has landed.
Whoa, whoa, on the right. Look on the right. We saw it on the right on the buoy cam. Look at that. Wow, crazy. Right at the buoy. Right at, oh, then it explodes when it's in the water or whatever. Right at the buoy there. Right at the buoy.
As we said, we're not planning on recovering the ship today. Hey, welcome back to Earth, Starship.
They
We are
blew it
down
up.
in the Indian Ocean. Let
They're
'em
all
hear it,
happy
Stargaze.
they
What
landed
a
it
day.
in the ocean.
Flight.
No landing pad, and they just blew up.
Oh. All right. Welcome back to Earth, ship.
It's crazy.
What a day. A whole lot more to go through. As you just saw, everybody here at Starbase
Successful.
pretty
Well,
hyped. Hey, Tyler.
what's your
Hawthorne,
knucklehead
how's everybody
news?
holding up?
Stay tuned.
Thank you, Dan. We
Love
had a
ya.
fantastic time watching.